Hey, Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to say call halal, Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Rakah, Kodash. I want to send double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. I want to send much peace, love, and salutations to you brothers out there pushing the word of Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, and sincerity and truth. This is the brother Ariella, and the title of this lesson is Being Around Top Men Doesn't Make You a Top Guy. You know, being around top men doesn't make you a top guy. We have to make sure that we remain humble. Don't get too big for your britches in this thing. You know what I'm saying? You might be next to the man, but that doesn't make you the man, you know? And this is just something for brothers to be mindful of. You know, we have to watch ourselves as we come up in this thing. You might be able to serve, you know, you might be sitting at the feet of the head of the camp, or you might be amongst the officers as a young man very early on, you know, or you might even get a chance to be around bishops, you know, elders, you know what I'm saying, or even apostles. And because you're kind of around them, you sit at their feet, you get to hear their mindset, you start to emulate how they move. But that doesn't mean that you have the right to move the way that they do. We have to make sure that we move with humility, even if we're in the midst of great men, okay? And not get too far ahead of ourselves. You got to remain humble and know that overall the word ministry means to serve. And we're all servants. And the Most High takes us through particular processes of growth. Okay? And everybody's going to have, maybe a peculiar process for themselves, but the Most High has given us guidelines to watch out for. Here in the book of Sirach, the 7th chapter, and the 7th chapter and the 4th verse says, "Seek not of the Lord preeminence, neither of the king the seat of honor." So when you look up that word preeminence, it means to get ahead, And sometimes we can get around, top men. You can be around, different elders, apostles, other officers, top guys. And even though you're just new to this thing, you start to get in your mind that you're a top guy and start to treat brothers as if, you on that same level. Went through the spirit and you're not, man. But the Most High's got you around for a particular reason, to learn, to grow. And you have to make sure that with humility, take it on with honor. Verse 5 says, "Justify not thyself before the Lord, and boast not of thy wisdom before the king." So, you get around them, I do this, I do that, I'm this, I'm that. Start getting puffed up in your head, like the scripture says. 1 Corinthians 8:1, "Now as touching things offered unto idols, we know that we all have knowledge. Knowledge puffeth up, but charity edifieth." Okay? And if any man think that he knoweth anything, he knoweth nothing as he ought to know. Okay? So, you got to let Yahweh Shem Yahushua manifest things and not try to justify and push things on your own. Just because you might be around brothers of certain level and caliber doesn't mean you walking around with your chest all puffed out like you on that same level. No, man. We all got to go through this course through the spirit, right? Verse 6 says, "Seek," and back in Sirach 7, verse 6 says, "Seek not to be judged, being not able to take away iniquity, lest at any time thou fear the person of the mighty, and stumbling block in the way of thy uprightness." So just, you got to be mindful of where you at and how we move in this thing, okay? Just like Apostle R said, man, you got brothers that been in for 15 years, 20 years, that we still young, we still babes. Okay? We still learning. Going on 17, 18 years for myself. We still learning. That's still a very young man. So we got to remain humble, man. Right? 1 Timothy chapter 3, verse 5 says, "For if a man know not how to rule his own house, how shall he take care of the church of the Most High?" A lot of bros, be having situations all over the place, still learning how to do and manage that, but they know these scriptures and they think that they're in a position to tell everybody what the hell to do. Well, first you need to learn how to apply it in your life. Okay? First, you got to know how to apply these things in your life, man, before you get up on some type of high horse to tell everybody else, right? Verse 6 says, "Not a novice, lest being lifted up with pride, he fall into the condemnation of the devil." And that's what happens if you're a novice and you get puffed up with knowledge. You start to get high-minded. You come into the combination and the snare of the devil by what? What does the devil teach? Disobedience. Okay? You start to become rebellious, too high-minded to hear any type of rebuke, reproach, exhortation, and to grasp the things that you need to learn in order to go to the next level, because now you filled up with pride and you can't hear nothing or be told nothing because you around maybe this high level brother, or through the spirit power, or apostle elders. Just because you're around the man don't make you the man. Okay, so don't get too big for your britches. Verse 7 says, moreover, he must have a good report of them which are without, lest he fall into reproach in the snare of the devil, man. Okay, so as we grow in this thing, we got to be mindful of our energy, how we come across, what we say, what we do. Okay, because you had these things happening in the old churches. That's why I wanted to read this in 2 Corinthians 10. You had guys that they come around, they've been around for a little bit, and then they think they on the level all of a sudden, to where they can't hear nothing. They breaking off doing side missions. Now this is Paul's writings to the Corinthians, 2 Corinthians 10 and 9. I do not want that. I'm getting this in the NIV. I do not want to seem to be trying to frighten you with my letters, for some say his letters are weighty and forceful, but in person he is unimpressive and his speaking amounts to nothing. And that's how Jake is. And, you get around Jake, that's why they say familiarity breeds contempt. They looking for all the things to knock you instead of understanding the spirit of why you're there. Verse 11 says, such people should realize that we are in our letters when we are absent, that what we are in our letters when we are absent will be in our actions when we are present. We do not dare to classify or compare ourselves with some who commend themselves. When they measure themselves by themselves and compare themselves with themselves, they are not wise. Talking about clicking up, joining together. Yeah, man, yeah. We, however, will not boast beyond proper limits, but will confine our boasting to the sphere of service the Most High himself have assigned to us, a sphere that also includes you. Right? He's like, the Most High, had me reach out to you brothers, man. So you guys are underneath me, So there's authority there. Okay? Through the Spirit. We're not going too far in our boasting, as would be the case if we had not come to you. For we did get as far as with you with the gospel of Hamashiach Yahushua. Neither do we go beyond our limits by boasting of work done by others. See? Our hope is that as your faith continues to grow, our sphere of activity among you will greatly expand. And that's what's happened with the apostles, bishops, and elders, brothers that have been here and come before 40 years, 30 years, 25 years, so on and so forth. We're entering into other men's labor. So we have to understand that and come with humility even when we're around those men. Not to say that, oh, you got this knowledge now, and so you on the same level. But when those men that came before you, you're their fruit. Okay? So that we can preach the gospel in regions beyond you, for we do not want to boast about work already done in somebody else's territory. But let the one who boast in the Lord. All right? So we just got to be mindful of how we deal and how we move. Don't get puffed up just because you might be around, bishops, apostles. Stay humble. Okay? 1 Peter 5:5 says, likewise, ye younger, submit yourselves unto the elder. Yea, all of you be subject one to another, and be clothed with humility. For the Most High resisteth the proud, and giveth grace to the humble. Okay? Like we keep reiterating, knowledge puffeth up. You want to remain in that humble spirit, and that's part of being a stoic. The apostles and other brothers have been going big on being a stoic. Well, having humility with a level of confidence is a part of being stoic and moving forward. Verse 6 says, humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, that he may exalt you in due time. So you got guys that seek out a preeminence when the Most High knows where you need to be and where you need to be at a particular time. Allow him to exalt you in due time. Okay? Casting all your care upon him, for he cared for you. All right? So you have to watch out for pride. Because we all know pride cometh before destruction. All right? So just be mindful. I'm going to read this one. We read it and we say it all the time, but we got to live it. First Timothy 5:17, let the elders that rule well be counted worthy of double honor, especially those who labor in the word and doctrine. Okay? So to give other double honors requires a level of humility, requires a level of subjection, and being able to recognize authority and have the mindset to sit back and say, you know what, I want to do whatever Yahweh Shem Yahushua wants me to do. Okay? Know your role, know your place, have joy in your role, have joy in your place, and work hard in it. And the Most High will exalt you in due time, man. So let's not be puffed up. Let's just let's work. Like we said, this is an independent thing. You get this word, you got to run with it. But there's an interdependence as far as the building of the temple on how we work together in order and in spirit. So we all must be mindful, man. With that, man, I'm say, call halal Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rakah Kodesh. Double honors to the apostles, the elders, the great millstone. Much peace, love, and salutations to Yakim out there pushing the word of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Sincerely and true. Shalom.